Hey, what's up, everybody? I was sitting here about to work on this slideshow I'm gonna put together because it had dawned on me a couple of weeks ago that I my son Zach, he's gonna be 3 in April, and I never actually put together video footage or anything, pictures on my YouTube channel about my pregnancy journey. And it's just funny because a lot, again, as I had stated in one of my other videos, that a lot has changed um, with me having a baby and, getting married and everything. So it's kind of like I put a lot of things on hold as far as my YouTube channel. It took a different direction and all that other good stuff. So I just thought I'd go ahead and start putting some stuff together so you guys can see my journey and how it happened or whatever. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know if I'll add it after this or if I'll do like separate videos because there's so many pictures. It may wind up being uploaded into parts, like part one, part two, etc., whatever. Um, let's see. I had 2 baby showers. Matter of fact, I had one back home in New Orleans. I had one by a couple of my coworkers at my part-time job. So, matter of fact, it was like 3. But the third one is, I wouldn't consider it like a real baby shower. It was just like a group of my coworkers got together and, they all gave me some gifts. Um, so, yeah, I'll just upload a lot of the pictures from my pregnancy journey before Zach was born, as well as when he was born. I don't think I'll do video footage about, the birth. You guys know. Um, if my husband took video footage, just to put it out there, I did not have a natural birth. I had a C-section. So, unfortunately, yeah. I'll go into that as well. Let's see, how do I want to start this story? So, what had happened was, uh, in July of 2013, as a matter of fact, it was July, I think it was around July, the end of July. Um, my husband was like, at the time, I'm just going to put it out there, he wasn't my husband. So, and just to put the disclaimer out there, some of this might, some of y'all might say, okay, that's TMI, too much information or whatever, but I'm just trying to keep it real. We adults here, so it is what it is. He was like, something ain't right, something is going on with your nipples. So he actually knew before I knew. And I'm the type of person where I'm generally a healthy person. So I won't really go to the doctor unless I really just feel like I'm about to die. Or, of course, I go for my annual checkups. Other than those 2 times, I don't go to the doctor. I just don't. I hate going to the doctor. So anyway, I was like, and plus, my cycle had always been irregular. So the longest I had ever gone without one was like 3 months. So that was like my cutoff point, back in 2013, when he was saying stuff was going on or whatever. So I was like, well, it ain't, been 3 months yet. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not feeling nothing in my stomach. I didn't have no, sickness, no nausea, none of that. So I was like, okay, I got tired of him saying, just go to the doctor, just go to the doctor. So I was like, okay, fine, okay, fine. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to wait until it's like more than 3 months, at least 3.5 months, and go to the doctor. So I tried that. No, that didn't happen because he just kept hounding me. So eventually I got tired of hearing him, just saying whatever. So I made the appointment to go to the doctor. No, back up. He's like, just take a test. So we took the test. It said negative. So I'm like, see, I know my body. I know when something is off or something ain't right or whatever. I know it. So he's like, well, take another one. So I think I took 2 tests and they both said negative. So, and I'm trying to convince him, ain't nothing going on, ain't nothing, I'm fine. And he's like, well, why he poking my stomach, talking about, okay, why, no, and shaking his head, no, something, your ass better not be. So anyway, um, I went to the doctor, and what can I say? The way the doctor did it was, she was asking me about, how I had been feeling and everything. I'm like, I've been feeling fine. It's just, she asked me, have I been going to the bathroom a lot? If I've been sleeping a lot, just symptoms like that. And I'm like, I think it was normal as far, I didn't notice I had been going to the restroom a lot. I told her that, maybe I have been going to the no, I can't remember about the sleep thing because it just seemed normal to me. And at the time I was working 2 jobs too. So anyway, so once she ran the test and everything, she came back and she just kind of walked around, she talking or whatever, and she just bam, put the paper in my face. Congratulations. And my face just kind of dropped. And I had mixed feelings because I'm like, okay, I'm over 35. Was I 35? 2013, 3 years ago. I'm 40. Yep, I'm over. I was 30. Actually, I was 36. I hadn't made 37 yet. So here's the thing with me. It's like everything always had to be planned out, and everybody would always tell me it ain't gonna happen when you want it to happen. It don't work that way. And I'm like, but I want to plan it. I want to do this and that and other. I should have known better because the way my life has gone, a lot of things has not worked out the way I planned. So I just take it as, especially for me, when the doctor told me that, she showed me that paper that I really was pregnant. The reason why I had mixed feelings because number one, I said, the planning and the timing of it all, I'm like, this ain't, I always had a motto in my head: marriage before carriage, marriage before baby carriage. That was just my motto. And for it to work the way that it did, and just to add something else to that, I was married before. And me and my ex-husband, we actually tried to have a baby. And it just never happened. And, looking back on it now, I'm thankful that it didn't happen. Because as you can see, we're not together anymore. And I never wanted to be just somebody's baby mama. I never had that mentality. I just never wanted that. So I would always pray that I don't be just a baby mama or just another statistic. So it just never worked out that way. And again, like I said, looking back on, that situation, all I can say is God knew exactly what I needed when I needed it. And a baby in that situation would not have been the best thing. So, anyway, it didn't happen then. And for it to happen, and I always had it in my mind. My plan was get married by the time I'm 25, have my first child before I'm 30, and live happily ever after. I did get married when I was 25, but the baby didn't come at that time. So that's why I say over time and my life experiences has taught me that my timing, the way I have, or the way my mindset worked was trying to be overly organized, or I want it this way, that way, that way. I've learned that I could plan everything out the way I want to, but the Most High God, when He have certain plans, they trump or they override what your plans are. So anyway, I'm rambling here. Moving forward to now, well, when I had Zach, so I found out I was pregnant with Zach. So that again, I had mixed feelings, and it just, I guess you have to look at it this way. How in my mind, it had gotten to the point where I said, okay, if I don't have a child by the time I'm 30, I'm done. It just ain't gonna happen. And then I was like, okay, I'll be fine without a child, because with my plans were to have a child before I make 30. So then once I hit 30, and you already know the biological clock really starts ticking, or it's pretty much done. I can't even say it's done, but scientifically speaking, it's harder for us women after 35, or they say your pregnancy may, you run the risk of having problems if you wait till you 35 or older. So I was like, okay, as I started getting older and it just wasn't happening, I got content. I was just fine. I was like, you know what, Father, if it happens, it happens. That means it's meant for it to happen. If it doesn't, I'm fine with that as well. Because I've known some women who would literally cry and just be heartbroken every time they would take a pregnancy test and it'd be negative, because they wanted a baby just that bad. And especially in a certain situation where a baby was not going to keep that man, or a baby was not going to spare you from getting your ass beat. And I would be, in my mind, I'm thinking, why? Why would you want to bring a child into that situation? Why do that? Whenever I would hear, or just, certain women in that situation, it just didn't make sense. So anyway, I'm rambling again. So at the doctor's office, and I had to go to work that day too. So I was like, and I was working with one of my, my older cousin, the one who pretty much raised me. She's like my mom. So I told her the news, and she, it's so funny. I could still see her facial expression, because the way that I did it was, she knew I was going to the doctor. So she was like, well, how did the doctor's visit go or whatever? So I told her, I said, okay, because we work in the medical field. So I wrote down the diagnosis code. I said, okay, look this code up for me. With us working in the office, with billing and stuff. So I said, can you look up this code for me? So she looked it up, and she looked at me. And I said, okay, but look at this part here, because I had to break it down to, I think it was the fourth or the fifth digit. Anyway, she looked it up. She looked at me, and I just grinned, and she was like, she's scuffling around at her desk, trying to lock the screen. And she's like, no, we got to step away from the desk. So we walked away from her desk or whatever, and we went in the break room. And she was like, as we was walking to the break room, she kept looking back at me, and she's smiling and looking at me and smiling. Kitty, Kitty, Kitty. You having a baby? Because, I mean, a lot of people would say, Kitty, always the TD and never the mommy. Because I was always the TD. I was always the auntie to, my cousins, kids or whatever. So for me, that's why I had to pinch myself a couple of times because I'm scratching my head like, me? Of all people, I'm having a baby? It took me a while, y'all, to realize that. I mean, I would still rub my belly and just start growing. And I wouldn't, like, even coworkers, once I had to, tell them or whatever. And they would ask me, well, so how do you feel, that you're pregnant or whatever? I say, well, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to say. Do you feel any different, or have you haven't had any morning sickness or anything? Like, no morning sickness. I still feel, the same. I still find it's just as time went on, I started feeling I didn't have like pain. I didn't have a complicated pregnancy. It just felt pressure. Felt like just pressure every now and then, like at the lower part of my stomach. And that was about it. So, I think this video is about to cut off. So let me come back and share the rest of the story. Hold tight.